Hello and welcome to the Sound Live. Eve, you get a pick too. Why don't you introduce it for us?
Tommy Bolin? I think you might know Tommy Bolin, Kyle.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's most famous for being in Deep Purple for one album, the album Come Taste the Band, but he was also in the James Gang after Joe Walsh left. What else? He was in Zephyr, which was like a Colorado. They were from Boulder, Colorado. They have a couple of albums out there. He also did a stint in Alphonse Mouzon, or am I pronouncing it correctly? He did a stint in that, and he was also on Billy Cobham's Stratus. He had some great solo material, and I would advise checking out like the two albums that he released during his, when he was alive. He had some material that was released posthumously because he died of I think he overdosed on both cocaine and heroin in 1976.
Dude.
Unfortunately, he was one of those almost stars of the 70s guitar rock and jazz fusion and all that. He was always like the replacement guy from like what I just described. He replaced Ritchie Blackmore, replaced Joe Walsh, and
kind of like Steve Vai in the 80s.
Yeah, sort of, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, hard drugs ended his life.
Yeah.
Because honestly, as much as I love Ritchie Blackmore, I think he's equally as talented in his own right. Glenn Hughes is doing the vocal at the end, just so you know.
Cool. Okay, so without further ado, Musicians Panel reacts to Tommy Bolin, Dreamer, from 1975. Here we go!
Halfway gone, halfway back. You're always dreaming about what you lack. You're taking your time from your busy day to sit by the track and watch the train roll away. Dreamer, I know what you're thinking. I can see it in your face. Maybe before you were happy, but now your thoughts are on this place. You've begun to change now, baby. I don't see. Oh, but I know you will. And it's clear to me. You think chains hold you here now, baby, but they don't exist. You don't have to stay, mama. I won't insist. Dreamer, I know what you're thinking, yeah. I can see it in your face. Maybe before you were happy, but now your thoughts are of this place. So take the train today and don't look back again. Live the dreams you have. Don't dwell on what has been. Your future's brighter now. There's brighter days ahead. Any sad farewell words better left unsaid. Dreamer, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I can see it in your face. Maybe before you were happy, but now your thoughts are of this place. Maybe before you were happy, but now your thoughts are
Cool. That was cool. Good choice, Eve. Good choice. Yeah, I definitely never heard that before. And the guitar solo, like that one, like at the beginning of it, he went into that riff. He just kept repeating. It reminded me of Family Guy. Like, like follow me. Like, you know how Family Guy will do something really annoying, and it'll start out funny, but then they'll keep doing it, and it'll go like to where it's not funny anymore. But then they'll keep doing it so long that eventually it goes back around to where it's funny again.
Yeah.
Like in that way. His solo at the beginning was just this garbled mess of but he kept doing it so long that it flipped all the way back around to where, oh wow, that was actually a really smooth ending to that. I like that. I don't know, because I was sort of kind of like, okay, getting over it, do something else, man. But wait, then the way he actually finished it and transitioned out of it was just so sickly smooth. It reminded me of Family Guy, dude, the circle thing. The vocals were pretty cool. I don't recognize it. He sounded a lot like a lot of other singers from the era, and the sound of the whole overall mix was definitely 70s. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit critical of the mix on some of the drums. I felt like, and this is a common thing for me, I don't like super tons of hi-hat in my mix. So I felt like the hi-hat stuck out a little bit, although the drummer was playing it tastefully, wasn't overplaying with it. But a few times the toms, the lower toms, the two lowest sounds were just way too loud and just stuck out really hard to me as, wow, there was a little bit of showing how the mix in the 70s was just, just not as tight as the mix of 50 almost years later. But that being said, a little bit more compressor on those toms, and I feel like that would have been a really, really incredible sound. For the it really did. It sounded like, a high quality production from the 70s. Maybe not the highest, but pretty darn high. And I liked it. Good choice. What else do you think, Kyle?
Whenever I hear stuff like that, it always brings back like a sense of nostalgia, because I know my brothers, played stuff like this. I know that both my brothers had Tommy Bolin albums. The middle brother got me into guitar. Told me about Tommy Bolin and a lot of things. Even though, whenever I was like 6 to 8, I can't really pinpoint like exactly. And I had to look up when he was giving an intro to the classic rock station in St. Louis, because I knew Tommy Bolin had like a hot song, here in St. Louis.
Yeah, he's from the Midwest.
Yeah. And so like,
from
Tommy
Iowa.
Bolin and well, it's funny because I mentioned playing with this cover band, and it's like older guys in their 70s and stuff. And I forgot that like when I was a kid, what some of the hot songs were you know, and there's a certain demographic that just responds to it. But with this, I you know, I have such a cool sense of nostalgia, you know, and thinking about the mix and things. To me, whenever I was hearing the solo, all I kept think of is what mic and what cabinet are they using to record that? Because, you know, a lot of those 70s recordings, you hear the gear almost as much as you hear the player. And that's a fascinating thing, you know, to me. But yeah, this was fun. I mean, talking about this kind of like mid-tier musician and, you know, looking back in time and someone that, you know, coulda, shoulda, you know, if things would have been different for, you know, in his personal life, that's
Basically.
always fun. Yeah. This was cool.
Yeah, definitely.
I would, you know, I would definitely advise checking out his work on, like I said before, Billy Cobham's Stratus, and also his solo material, his two
Mhm.
albums that he released when he was live, Teaser and Private Eyes. Those were the two that he released before he died, because he was always the side guy, and he, like I said, he was always the replacement. But yeah, like everything he was involved with was like it was great. I mean, I think I got introduced to him years ago through I was in a psychedelic jam band, and I think the guitarist played me some Tommy Bolin, and I'm like, this is not as dark as I'm used to. It's very funky and jazzy, but this is some very soulful playing, and these songs are really solid. And I was just I was curious, so I kind of dug and
Yeah.
got yeah, like
I
looked
wasn't
at all the
expecting all the
obscure
piano.
material.
The piano kind of like,
Yeah, he plays piano. He
okay, cool. Yeah, that particular piano, I would also say, I mean, I know it was in the 70s, but it sounded, I don't want to say out of tune, but like, no, because it wasn't out of
In a
tune.
charming way.
But there's just a couple of the keys were like a little brighter. It sounded like an upright piano to me, or maybe if it was a baby grand, maybe it just wasn't mic'd that well. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what, but I mean, and it could have been like a MIDI type sound piano too. I don't know exactly what it was, but it just I probably would have either EQ'd it or, you know, done something just a little bit different with it. But like I say, that was before I was born, so it's pretty freaking awesome. Come on, you know.
yeah.
I'm pretty picky. My ears are very, 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 very picky, and you know, not unlike the tongue of a chef or something, you know. And I have certain things that you know I really like, and I like a lot of the things too. But like the
Yeah.
just on that one, just the piano tone was just for my taste slightly off, and like I said the toms were slightly off, but the songwriting was good. It almost reminded me of like I don't know, like a Stones-ish kind of ballad, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
In that vein. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, no, that I'd say that's accurate. He actually, there's a earlier version of this song with he was also a part of a jazz fusion group called Energy, and there's a they did like a live session, and so he had the song for like 5 years, and I listened to that version. I was like, this sounds like Joe Cocker doing the vocal. It wasn't Joe Cocker, of course,
Yeah.
but I think it was his friend, and I forget, blanking on the name, but yeah, it's interesting to hear that version, and then hear this version, because they're two different. They're two different vibes.
Yeah.
Right on. Please make sure you support the studio at patreon.com/Matthews Music Lesson Studio, where you can get exclusive weekly bonus content. You can also support the channel at liberapay.com/Matthews Music, the non-profit way to go. Or no commit, buymeacoffee.com/Matthews Music. Help me to get that crazy, geeked out caffeinated sound that Kyle and Eve were asking for. Also, Venmo, send me a tip at Matthews Music. So, thank you, Kyle and Eve, and I'll see you next time on
See
the
ya.
Sound Live.